So I just recently have been getting back into the book The Exiles, not only because I've found some of the original issues, but I heard Marvel is doing a redo. I haven't read the redo, but the cast looks like meh. It looks like it's trying to go for more wacky worlds instead of, a little more grounded. I do want wackiness. Um, but I have two proposed new exile teams that I would have gone with. Granted, some of these are completely, from the scratch characters. Very few of them, though. Or characters who have had very little established about their world, which would be both good and bad. The first team would be the Multiversal Exiles, rebrand it and do the whole, yeah, we're saving the multiverse sort of style team with more known characters. The leader, one of the main characters would have been Blink because she's carried throughout all the teams, including the new one. So she would be there for um, connection to the original Exiles in this first team. She is not in my other team. But yeah, so she would be there as a connection point to all the other Exiles books, small nods here and there. The next one would be America Chavez, for the obvious fact she goes through multiverses like crazy. That's her book. It would make sense she'd be on a team like that because of her power set. Next one is Doctor Strange because he's been lately dealing with a bunch of multiversal things. Like I said, this is a multiversal team, and Doctor Strange has a unique power set, so he could solve a lot of problems. And he does multiversal stuff. Next is Miles Morales, multiversal stuff, and I like having a Spider Person on a team. My favorite run was with Spider-Man 2099. And on both my teams, I wouldn't want to put Spider-Man 2099 on again. I would want to change out the Spider-Man. This one, because Spider-Man Miles Morales has been dealing with more multiversal stuff lately than 2099. The second one, for a different reason, we'll get to that in just one moment. And this will be cut into two parts, by the way. This first part's just these. The next one is going to be Loki because he deals with his variants and how to talk to versions of yourself on the regular and how to deal with trying to become versions of yourself. Interacting with the world, he does a lot more than Strange or Miles does. Miles and Strange usually try to solve a problem and leave. Not to mention, like I said, Loki just does a lot of multiversal stuff lately. Next one is Deadpool. Deadpool has a whole book based off of him doing stuff with multiversal people. And that also is because the same reason we have our next member, Cable. Cable usually goes along with Deadpool, and I think Cable would provide a different take and power set compared to the rest of them. I didn't want to have too many magic users, so I didn't want to go with Wanda, and I wanted it limit to 6 characters per each of them. You could have more later on in the book, but I'd want to start with a nice even 6, because that's what the original book started with. And sorry, that's the next one. Yeah, so Cable, Deadpool, Loki, Miles Morales, Doctor Strange, America Chavez, and Blink would be the multiversal exiles team that are characters that deal with the multiverse on the regular rather than being characters from the multiverse and just being 616 established characters. My next team would be the exiles I would build if I were to go with the premise of characters ripped from their dimension and placed in a scenario where they have to, help the other, help solve multiversal problems, which is what the original book was about. I would go with Spider Girl. This one is mostly because I would want a Spider Person on the team. I don't want it to be a character that's been overly done, so I wouldn't want regular Miles. I definitely wouldn't want like PS4 Spider-Man because there's so much. I don't want a character that's tied by too much lore. I don't want a character that's too well known. Spider Girl fits in the slightly well known, but doesn't have a lot. In fact, I've read the entire run of her original series. It's one of my favorites, which is why I would want to include her. Um, especially since we kind of had the Mary Jane Spider Girl in the first run. Granted, she was a lesbian, but you could have them travel back to that universe. You could get some really good moments built up with both the Spider people. You could have her meeting other Spider people. I think there's a lot of possibility for interactions, and I just like the power set that she comes with. And I mostly want to have diverse power sets for this line and different interaction possibilities. Is what I tried to focus on. Next one is Morph. He is here because it's another one. He's my favorite character. Granted, I am more on the X-Men 97 version of Morph, but I learned that this is that Morph. There's a whole long story. I've told it wrong. It's not two characters. It's one character. Yeah, he was originally called Changeling. It's a long thing. Linkara's Exiles thing, which is what got me started on this to begin with. Other than reading the books, because I just picked up a couple issues, as I just said earlier in the video. Yeah, no, Morph, he would be a connection to the original team. He's a character I really, really love. He's got a lot of comedic purposes, and, connection to the original team, unique power set, character I love. Bingo. He's the end for this team to be a connection to the original book. Then we have Howard Stark Iron Man. Now, there has been two versions. I couldn't find any images that worked. This was the best one I found for Howard Stark as Iron Man. I don't want a Tony Stark Iron Man. We have so many versions of a snarky Tony Stark Iron Man. I want a more subdued, calm, inventor type. And I didn't want to go with Forge because the original book had so many X-Men characters. I'm a huge X-Men fan, but I want a little more diversity. So I wanted to try to, split it up between everybody. And I felt Howard Stark would be a unique spin, and you could have a lot of interactions with him and an Iron Man of another universe, and still have the inventor type who could help build weapons, because he's not even adverse to building weapons, because he's Howard. Yeah, this would be awesome. I know the original Howard wasn't keen on it, but, he could still build, subdued weapons, like a laser cannon knocks people out or something. Yeah, that's my pick on that one. Next, we have Cowboy Captain America. I think the interactions would be amazing, and I love the suit. He's from another multiverse. This is a world that wasn't really talked about much. I don't even think it's outside the Lego games. I couldn't find it anywhere else. Yeah. So sorry about that. Yeah, the Cowboy Captain America. We haven't seen very much. He's got a cool look, and he's different enough where there isn't much technology in his world, so he would be kind of an outsider to a bunch of technology. Could probably play it up for comedic bits. Yeah, so Cowboy Captain America is who I would choose on that front. I love the Ultimates books. I know they get a bit crazy. This one was more of a trying to do something with a different power set. But this could be the kind of going against the team type character, and he could have unique interactions with Thors from other worlds, because last Ultimates thing I read, there was a whole, is he a Norse god, is he not, and that kind of stayed throughout the whole entire thing, up until, I think the Ultimate Thor book, but even then the writers had changed so much by then, that I don't know. But I would play with the whole, is he a Norse god, isn't he? Even if it's not the main Ultimate Thor, you could, write him as pretty much the Ultimate Thor from Ultimates 1 and 2. Kind of like they did with Spider-Man 2099. He wasn't 2099. He wasn't that Spider-Man 2099, but he was kind of enough. Kind of something similar with this one. Yeah, I would love to see interactions. He's got a really good power set. He'd be different from the rest of the team. He could be the character that clashes with everyone else. So yeah, that's why I would include him. Next one. Now, I wanted a Cable on the team, because Cable travels to different dimensions constantly. He's usually a character that's outside of time, so he makes sense to be pulled into this group. And I also kind of wanted a Wolverine, but I didn't want to go with a basic Wolverine. And I remember this was a Wolverine Cable. I'm not sure the origins of this one, because it was a little newer of a character. But, yeah, I would love to see a version of this, at least. Another Cable Wolverine style thing, or maybe a Deadpool Wolverine. I don't know. I think that'd be a bit much, but I could very well see him kind of having some fighting with Thor. We have the whole thing of healing factors that we'd want on the team because you gotta. I want at least one character who's a complete powerhouse in this, and this character really fits it. The last character though is Ghost Rider. This one, it is strictly just because I I don't know which Ghost Rider I would make it. I'd make it a different Ghost Rider. Wouldn't be the 6161. Um, yeah, I would just have it be a Ghost Rider because I like Ghost Rider. That's it. I don't have much of another reason, but I would like a Ghost Rider on the team because I like Ghost Rider. Yeah, this would be awesome. You know what? I would go with Ghost Panther. I know the image isn't on screen. Pull in the Infinity Warp's Ghost Panther. There you go. Get some regal talk going, but have the like the massive flaming panther skull. That would be kick ass. So that is my theory. Like, not theories. That is who I would go with for my not Eternals. Sorry, Exiles team. If I've said Eternals throughout this whole thing, I am so sorry. It's getting really late. I would choose these as my Exiles team. That would be awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, if you want me to do more content like this, I am definitely down for it. I like the comic book content. It's just a little harder for me to produce.